are no little like squeakers. They're all like full on blasts.
Full on cannon blasts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's see if I get working this week.
So yeah,
why does it still say Pup 34? I swear to God.
The never-ending episode.
Oh my God.
Of Pup 34. So I got me a new phone this week.
Hey.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Got the Nexus 5.
Nice. That's the first phone that I'm like, oh, maybe I could put up with Android for this phone.
Oh, dude, it's so good. There's no solid like ROMs for it yet. There's nothing that's at a stable version. I know everyone's like, oh, the nightlies for CyanogenMod are gonna be fine. It's like, no, they're not. I don't trust
for your
nightlies
phone.
Anything. Yeah, no. But I've been messing around with the exposed framework for Android. It basically lets you do a bunch of this customization stuff that CyanogenMod and all the other ROMs do, but on a stock ROM.
Oh, nice.
I don't think I'll be off of the stock ROM for a while, unless CyanogenMod has some really cool stuff up their sleeve once they hit a stable version. I don't see a reason to flash a new ROM at all. But it's nice going from so my Galaxy Nexus just, I don't know what happened. I flashed a kernel to it that should have worked. I wanted to overclock it a little bit because it was feeling kind of sluggish, and it started boot looping. And last time I had messed with it, I had cracked it open to replace the USB port so that it would actually charge, which, you know, is usually a good thing. And I managed to break the volume buttons.
Oh shit!
I pulled the contacts off of the motherboard on accident because I didn't properly unstick them from the side of the phone.
Oh.
But I was like, oh, you know, I can get away with no volume buttons. I can just change the volume in software. And I don't touch the volume buttons half the time anyway because I have a location profiles thing that, you know, every time I enter my house, it does a bunch of stuff. Every time I leave my house, it does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Work, friends' houses. It's nice. Well, and then I had to try and reboot my phone into recovery without the volume down button, which is impossible. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to try everything except... I literally can't do anything to the phone. So it's like, all right, I can either get a new phone or pretend this one works. That was my week.
Jeez. We finished moving into our house, so that's a plus.
Nice.
That's a good thing.
There's just shit everywhere now.
Yeah. That happens for a while.
That's the only problem. Well, and my fiance's mom gets here on Tuesday. So
okay.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Pull up show notes.
I feel like I'm going to write down some thoughts about Watch Dogs here.
Ooh, where are you, clipboard? There you are. Gotta write some titles down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so my dogs ate my TVGP notebook.
Oh, no!
I left it sitting on the ottoman, I think it was like Tuesday. I came home and it was just shredded. I'm like, what? Why?
That's spite, mostly.
Okay. Alright, you guys ready to start?
Yup.
Knobs is just reading show notes.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hi, what's up? What's up, guys?
All
How
right,
you doing?
Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going round the room, we got Knobs.
What's up?
And we got the Hannah.
Indeed.
I don't think we have anything to...
Can't stop playing with it.
For those of you not watching the live stream, that's his mustache.
Oh, thank God.
See, your mustache grows like out and can twirl. Mine just grows down.
You know what? Mine was growing down, and then I just, just try and train it a little bit because I got tired. I got tired of it looping back into my mouth. I'm
Yeah,
like,
just
enough of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I have in here? Like that, I found some old like tin of pomade, and I was like, yeah, buddy.
I thought you were gonna
In
be
your
like, I
beard?
just
Hold
found
on.
olive oil.
Yeah.
I smell delicious.
Ah, come on, I'm only part Italian.
All right.
Waka waka.
Now that we're done talking about our luxurious mustaches,
Oh.
Knobs, what have you been talking about?
Hey,
Mustaches.
what? Yeah,
What have you been playing though?
mustaches.
Oh, hello,
Almost exclusively.
ladies.
Oh, face-
Mm. Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we had Monday night game night this week was kind of weird because it was a holiday, and
Yeah.
it's only I think 3 of us who were playing. I think it was Donnie, Tomsy, and myself.
Three's enough for a party, man.
Hey, 3's a party, 4's company. It's it's more. I'm just obsessed with sniping right now. Like it's a problem. How
I'm
much?
taking pills for it.
Well,
I have a
you know,
problem.
I'm
Dramamine
having
mostly.
I'm positive KD every round now, but it's not very impressive score wise or kill wise, but point wise, it's insane.
Yeah.
Tom Gamer, we were playing with him lately a lot. Him, Just Pokey, Duncan the Great, Donnie, Tom Z, and Scott was kind of MIA this week. But anyway, I think it's a race week or something. Whatever, Indianapolis. I
don't know
think
what's
took a breath
happening on
in
the show
any of that.
anymore.
Anyway, yeah, but I'm like obsessed with making like long shots. Like he had 2 shots at 1,000 meters.
Jeez.
I'm like, God, I want to do that. But right now I'm kind of capped out at like the 800-meter mark where I can accurately hit someone.
Which still,
And-
by the way,
It is
kind of crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And my my Nook E friend from Germany, his pro tip was a godsend. Like, dude, you aim for that marking arrow, it's a headshot every time.
Nice.
Wow.
It's amazing.
He's
Now
unleashed
is
a
it-
monster.
Now, is
Yeah.
it because that's how they programmed it, or is it because the hitbox is bugging all the way up there?
I'm gonna say the hitbox is bugging that high. Because no, dude, like I've hit dudes in the grill, I don't know how many times, and they just don't go down.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I should have popped your melon, sir. I mean, there's no way you're getting up after that. But it said you kill me with 4 health left, but you got some bullet teeth now. Whatever,
Yeah.
douche. But it's that and my shorty shoddy. I was ridiculous with that thing. I think it was Wednesday night. I think it was Tom Gamer and myself. We were posted up on this island. The island he said you couldn't, or the map you couldn't snipe at. So I'm like, nah, dude, just come over to one of these islands. We held that island for 25 minutes under complete duress the entire time.
Jeez.
Like he would die and I would kill the guy, and then he'd spawn, then I'd get sniped from somewhere, and then he'd hold the island for a little bit. It was madness. I think I had like eight out of my 13 kills were with the shorty shotgun.
Jeez.
It's this little. It's like a sidearm, but it's a little shotgun that holds 3 rounds. It is magnificent, like absolutely infuriating, but it's awesome. Like I had an absolute riot that day. That and whatever idiot tried to shoot the giant like old timey cannon. Like you're done. Why even? The second you hold X to shoot it, you're dead. You don't even get a shot off.
Wow.
But I did run up there and shoot it once. It's kind of fun.
What a crazy game. Just every week you bring us some other crazy story of some sort of gun related tomfoolery.
Or knife tomfoolery or knife baggery. Like it's ridiculous.
Hannah,
Like,
don't write that down.
There's
I could just see you like, oh yeah, I gotta get that one.
there's always somebody like on the hunt to stab somebody, and it's always in dead silence when someone's like, oh my god, oh, it's a reversal. Thank you. But it's a riot, man. Like I don't understand how this game has just got its hooks into me so bad. Like I have my like that like I have 2 guns that I cannot unlock another thing for.
Wow.
Like, I think it's 50 kills, and there's 50 kills for each battle pack beyond your basic attachments. What are you doing? Um, I need to get to that spot and look at that part of the carpet, you rug muncher. My dog.
By the
Boomer.
way, people at home, don't look that up. That's not what that means.
Anyway, he's eating carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least he doesn't like the drapes. Wow.
Letting it go.
All right.
Just letting it go. Trying to figure out what I got to censor.
Really? Any of that?
Maybe.
that wasn't
See how I feel when I go to edit.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're in a good mood, sir. Anyway, but what was I talking about? Battlefield. Dude, I forgot.
Hey, Battlefield 4 is still really good.
Yes,
It's still a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Anyway, I was playing like how many kills you have to get to unlock all this stuff. I like it. Like the basic attachments are unlocked like experience points for the gun, and then every 50 kills you get a battle pack with more attachments for that specific weapon. And there's 6 at 50. It's another 300 kills with that one weapon to unlock them all.
Wow. That's pretty cool, though.
I am raining death. It is awesome. I'm having so much fun. And then you get like into the vendetta matches where one dude will kill you like a couple times, and you just spend the whole game hunting this guy down. Even though they all look the same, you're just like, did I get him? No, dang it. All right, did I get him? No, dang it. But it's good. The other game that I played this week is I played a significant more of Wolfenstein.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I love this game.
Yeah.
Just for the one-liners in it alone, it's amazing.
So many people online are just... I keep hearing that has a really bad kind of first hour intro area, but after that it just kind of really takes off, and everyone's just like, yeah, this is it's just fun.
Yeah.
Well, just the conversations that are going on with that lady's diary is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life as an audio log.
Really?
It is heart-wrenching. Like it just like I think she killed maybe 40 people in it, but it's amazing. Like just
That's awesome.
the conflict she has as all the other stuff in the world just kind of rolls over and takes one from the Nazis, but it's awesome. Probably my favorite one-liner in the game happened like right after I played it after we recorded, and he's going through this museum, and I know I can't say it exactly, but he's like, Nazis on the moon. F you, moon. Like I laughed out loud just because this is the way he said it. Just
so
matter
deadpan.
of fact.
Yeah.
Just like he was angry with the moon that the Nazis landed.
How dare you?
Oh, the moon level is awesome. I just went up and came back. Dude, it's moon base. Nazi moon base in Wolfenstein.
Why wouldn't there be?
Great. All the guns are this awesome Stormtrooper white now. It's great.
Jeez.
It's absolutely great. And I really like the commander gameplay in the game itself. Well, not commander gameplay, but in most areas you'll have either one or two commanders that can alert an alarm, and then it bring holy hell on you.
Oh yeah.
If you knock them out, it's a cakewalk. Like you maybe have 2 or 3 Nazi drones to knock out, and then you're free and clear to run around like an idiot. But if you mess up and you peek around a corner, it's like, hey, what, or who'd you guys jogging or whatever, and then they see.
Got it. German.
Got it.
Sounds good to me.
But if they spot you, then all of a sudden this alarm goes out, and you're probably dealing with 4 to 5 times the number of enemies you would have had to if you had just been sneaky.
So does it encourage? Is it easy enough to sneak, or is it just sort of hey, they saw me for half a second and now it's raining death on top of me.
Usually their starter, they're like, what the, in German.
Mhm.
And if you hide long enough, they'll be like, and then walk away.
It's just, I don't know what it was.
I don't know who that
Large,
muscular man that peeked around the corner. It must have been nothing.
large
like-
blonde-haired white guy. Huh.
Like
Oh, well.
it's the most non-inconspicuous person in the world.
It's like him trying to stand behind a tree. It's like,
I'm dual wielding these auto shotguns. They're like, ha! And they just hide back in the cover. Like it's it's
From
the
Spear.
dumbest thing. Like, oh, what am I? Did I end up in Logan's Alley somewhere?
Yeah.
No, Nazi moon base. But it's so fun. I just killed this giant London observer thing. It's this giant tripod death walkie thing with this giant laser cannon on it. It's cool looking, and it's a pain to kill. Like it was a legitimate like almost painkiller-esque boss battle.
wow.
Nice.
Like it was large, and it stepped on me more than once. But it was good. It was real good. I'm finding real hard not to really love this game. Outside of once I stopped aiming down iron sights, I have had so much more fun with this game.
Yeah.
It's the game. The shooting down sights is so wild and so uncontrollable. But if you just I've been using the silenced pistol like I do in every game.
Yeah.
It just it sounds like you're shooting a brass tack across the room. It's like, and I'm like, and you just see this dude just go all ragdoll and boom. And there's a guy standing right next to him. Whatever.
Oh well, he's sleepy.
He's a nap.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro.
He'll be fine, I bet.
That and when Blazkowicz, it's like, this has got to be the laziest group of guards ever. Because he thought, like, in this area, you catch 3 guys sleeping and a dog just taking it out, just sawing some wood, like, just doing nothing. And once you get the last one, it's like, huh, okay. That, the underwater stuff was cool. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this game. Like, it's really good. And I'm full bore heading into the third act here, where it's getting bad, like for the groups.
Yeah.
Oh, the acid trip scene was great. Oh, sorry, yeah. So I really can't spoil this scene because I mean it's an acid trip scene. So like you walk into the little workbench where you craft your armor upgrade, which makes no sense, and there's a guitar sitting there, and you pick it up, and then the Jimi Hendrix dude that's got the rag over his face, he's got a jacked up grill, comes in and he's like, "What, man, you play?" And then he gets on this big diatribe about, "Man, back home you were the Nazis." I'm like, oh, I gotta sit through this shenanigans again. So he's sitting there, and then all of a sudden, he's got an acoustic guitar, and he's playing some hillbilly, twangy song stuff. And he's like, then the guy goes over, grabs a little eyedropper of this ominously viscous boiling liquid, and puts a couple drops in his head, puts the headphones on him, and the dude just starts shredding. And then it goes all crazy. It was trippy.
Have you experienced the nightmare bed in the base?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Nightmare.
Yeah.
No, it was playing Wolf or the Spear of Destiny.
Yep.
It's the exact first level of Spear of Destiny over and over again.
Yep. Except it's in, like, you have your guns and you have your head bob. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so well done.
I really can't wait for that game to get a little bit cheaper, so I can pick it up.
Yeah.
It's been more fun than I ever thought it was going to be, especially after PAX, like all the lackluster things I'd heard about it.
Yeah.
And it's the first hour of that game. Everything in 1943 is just blah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's so boilerplate, copy paste, whatever from whatever Wolfenstein game you've ever played before. I actually want to go back and play the one before this now.
Yeah, it's just titled Wolfenstein, I think.
Yeah, just to see what happens with that game to get to that
Yeah,
point.
between Return
Yeah.
and New Order.
Yeah, New Order is this one.
Yeah.
But so far this has been absolutely fantastic. Um, I really recommend it if you like shooters. I mean,
Yeah.
and goofy Nazi lore stuff, and
Well, who doesn't?
it's way out there, Jerry. It's out there.
Is it Iron Sky level?
No, and you know what? I own Iron Sky, and I have yet to watch it.
Oh, that's a shame. It's good.
I haven't quite brought myself to that point to watch that yet.
It's good stuff.
I mean, Nazi Moonbase. I mean, I
You
I
already
did
love
my
it.
part. I bought it.
Yeah.
Just need to carve out that little piece of time for it.
Yep.
Or in the right setting, I think it would work well. But
Yeah.
but that's pretty much all I've been is just Wolfenstein and BF and the F out of everything.
All right, Hannah, have you been BFing anything?
I haven't BF'd anything recently.
Good.
but,
It's,
you know,
I don't think it's good for your health long term.
the day is young.
Yeah.
It is only about 3:45 here, so I still got a good solid 2 hours 15 of the afternoon left.
Yeah.
So what have I been playing? I played a bunch more Titan Attacks on Vita and beat it really as much as you can with a game like that. I got all the trophies, which I sort of did by accident. I wasn't even really trying.
Huh.
So
that's okay.
yeah, 100% it. Don't really need to play it anymore at this point. Upgraded the ship entirely. It's monstrous what you can do once you have that ship just fully upgraded.
Nice.
You just go to town. And they don't. It just rolls over. You just keep going after wave after wave after wave. And I think I'm on like wave 320 some odd at this point.
Yeah, I think you've I think you
unreal.
beat that one.
Yeah, I think I'm good on that one. Played some Mario Kart 8 with my brother-in-law. He's got the Wii U and he picked that up. That game looks fantastic.
Surprisingly, it really does.
It looks phenomenal. Like this is like what I've always wanted Mario Kart to be.
Yeah.
I think we played just the first couple of tracks in the game. We just sort of did multiplayer, and man, if you've played a Mario Kart game, you don't forget how to play Mario Kart.
No, sir.
You can just sit on down and it's like, okay, which controller are you going to give me? Are you going to give me the Wiimote? Are you going to give me the Pro controller? Am I going to get the big giant gamepad? No, you got that? All right.
Yeah.
The best thing is the gamepad doesn't really do anything. It shows some stats and stuff, but it gives you a little horn in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you tap the gamepad, you can honk in the game, but only the player with the gamepad can do that.
That's awesome.
Which is that's the best.
That reminds me of I don't remember which Mario Party introduced you being able to hit one of the two bumper buttons on the GameCube, and you'd be able to make your character would make a noise.
Oh yeah.
I remember whoever found that out was Yoshi.
Yeah. It was Mario Party 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a disaster that was.
Speaking of Yoshi, that's of course the character I picked because that's who you pick.
He's the best.
He is the
Hey,
best.
Is Waluigi in it?
He is. He was my
Yeah.
second choice. If Yoshi hadn't been available, I would totally grab.
Does he
Waluigi.
do his little flourish with the rose?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't get to. We didn't get to see a whole lot of it.
Stupid Waluigi.
But there is just.
He's
it's
the worst. Can we talk about Waluigi? Like
Yeah,
Wario, I can get behind a little bit because I think he's kind of funny. Waluigi, come on, he's so. Wah.
But he's Mr. Burns.
Oh my
he is
God.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so dumb.
he's so bad.
Oh,
He's so bad. I can't not use him though.
That's true.
It's like
I mean, they realized their mistake when they tried to make more Toads, and they're just like, hey, they all have the same name, and they're just different colors.
colors.
So we know we made a mistake, and we can't erase Wario.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we played a few rounds of that, and it was man, that game is it's pure fun. There's nothing. I mean, there's not a whole lot that changed about it. You still have the gliding mechanic from the previous. I think it was Mario Kart Wii that introduced that.
Yeah.
And if you hit the glide or jump button at the top of a ramp, you get a nice little boost. One thing that did bother me is I haven't really played a Mario Kart game since probably Double Dash, and I really didn't play that one heavily. So
Which one was
in my
Double Dash,
mind,
the GameCube one?
yeah,
Okay.
in my mind, Mario Kart is Mario Kart 64.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the
and
last one I played, I think.
Yeah, and I
And
have
Mario
the
Kart
time.
DS was close.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I did play Mario Kart DS. I did have that.
I
at
never
one point.
played that one.
But I remember the timing for the boost at the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
And if you didn't do it right, you would spin out.
Yep.
I don't think they do that anymore. I think you just don't get the boost. But the timing is super different. You have to do it like halfway, like the moment after 2 appears on the screen, you hit the accelerate button and they start to rev up and you get that boost.
Weird.
So the timing was a little different on that, which threw me off in the first race. They have like this weird. They have this underwater mechanic now, where you literally just go underwater.
Don't they
It's
have, like,
literally like wall. It doesn't change anything as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
You just happen to be underwater.
Don't they have an upside down inverse gravity thing too?
Yes, I did see that. We play. I said we played like the basic track, so I didn't see too much of that. But like the way the track design has gone crazy since I last played
Really?
one. It's
And
great
Double
because
Dash was pretty crazy.
you have like branching paths that are like the same distance that you can go down, and so you're only fighting with like, maybe 3 or 4 different drivers at a time, so you don't have the whole crew on top of you. It felt a lot easier. This might just be having better aim than a decade and a half ago, but hitting someone with a green shell seemed way easier than
Weird.
it's ever felt before. I
Really don't have for lead anymore.
Yeah, no, well, you do, but I think I might just be better at it. It was ridiculous. I was like, okay, I'm going to bounce it off
You're a
there. It's
little
gonna,
bit
oh, it hit
older,
him.
you
All right.
Understand how to shoot a little bit better. So
Yeah,
maybe. Chalk that one up to skill, sir.
Yes.
So, Hannah, have you played the Sonic racing games?
I haven't.
You should really go play that, because I think and clearly my last indication of racing games is Crash Team Racing and Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best. I think both of those are 2 of the best kart racers that have ever been made, and it's a crime that nobody has played them, because they're like, oh, it's a Sonic racing, but they're really, really, really good.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I've heard good things. I think one of them on the Vita was free a while back.
Yeah, it has some. It's okay, but it has some frame rate issues and some load time issues. But I think the previous.
That's the Vita.
Yeah. The PC version is super cheap and it looks amazing. Full controller support, and I think the 360 version is cheap now too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sonic Racing has come up occasionally for Thursday night game nights. as
Oh,
well.
nice.
So
That would be a lot of fun.
I'll definitely have to pick that one up. So I played a little bit of Mario Kart 8. Had a blast with it. Honestly, I was just sort of like taken aback by how good it looked, how well it still plays, and just it's the type of game you can just drop into after 10 years and go, oh, I remember this.
Yeah. Oh, I got this. It's like playing Street Fighter again. It's like, okay, yeah. Or Mortal Kombat 9 more specifically, where it's like, oh, it's still Mortal Kombat. Cool. Okay, I got this.
Oh yeah. I also hopped back into Assassin's Creed 4 for a little while, and decided, all right, I'm gonna critical path this because I want to see where some of this story stuff goes. I think I probably played maybe 2 hours and got more story out of it in those 2 hours than I have any of my previous play sessions. Some really big stuff happens with one of the main characters. Not you, but like one of the other pirate captains. There's a big reveal, and I was like, "Oh, I did not see this going that way."
Yeah, some of that game is sort of like, I thought I had predicted that, but I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yep, had a moment there.
Man, that game is good.
On top of a windmill.
And, that scene was really good.
That was really good because I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
Had no clue.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Pieces are coming together.
Yes. One thing I've discovered, so we'll get more into this when we talk about Watch Dogs in a minute here, but Yeah, I find it really annoying when a game doesn't tell me, like, I'm trying to get into a place to get something, uh, and it becomes apparent after searching for about 20 minutes that, oh, I have to progress further in the story
Yeah.
to get access to this. This is what spawned Sword Art a Critical Path,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed a little bit.
Oh, you haven't finished Act 5? You can't get in there. It's like, well,
Yeah,
how would I know? I'm like an hour in.
yeah. So I go to climb over the wall of this estate. I clearly should be able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's really nothing stopping me. There's like iron, like it's a cement wall and like a small iron fence on the top of it that you could easily just step over.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of trees nearby, so I'm like, oh, I just have to find the right one. No, I don't. I don't have to find the right one. I have to go and play the story like a chump.
Weird.
And once
What's the point of the game? Or whatever. I want to play the story. Come on.
Yeah, right. But no, it's just one of those things of like, well, it doesn't. If I had gone up to it and had said, "Oh, you need to complete, sequence whatever in the main story to access this area,"
Sure.
I'd be like, "Oh, cool, I'll go away."
It's totally fine.
So that game is still really fun. I've been sort of branching out and using different items and tools. I've been using the Berserk darts a lot.
Oh, those are so much fun.
Well, and especially if you hit the big dudes that you don't want to have to kill.
Yep.
The guys that have that it's like a one-handed pole arm. It's not even like a real axe.
Yeah.
They swing around. Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
But it's and they chuck grenades at you and stuff. It's if you get one of those guys and they're in a solid crowd, they can take out 5 or 6 dudes before you can just sneak in and take them down real quick. I've been using sleep darts on my biggest annoyance with this game is those snipers that sit up in the towers. They're just like, hey, I see you down there. I'm like, hey, I see you up there. Oop, dart in your neck.
Yeah. Do you have the rope darts yet?
Not yet. I haven't
Okay.
gotten
Man,
quite
those
that
are
far.
so much fun. I think you get them pretty late in the game, though.
Probably. That's generally how this game goes. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 4, every time I come back to it, I'm just like, man, this game's really solid. This game's really good. I almost don't want to beat it because I'm like, I want to keep coming back to it.
Yeah. 2 hours here, 2 hours there.
Yeah, it's a nice, little, get a couple hours of story in, maybe clear an island out.
Yeah.
I finally got to do the first diving bell mission where you go underwater, search for stuff. That's fun.
I hated those when... Did you have sharks in that one?
Yes.
That's the only thing I hated in that entire game.
Yeah,
it was just,
that was terrible.
Oh, hey, shark's chewing you. And it's like, okay, how can I get away? And it's like, the game's pretty much saying like, oh, we didn't do that.
Yeah. We didn't finish that code.
Maybe just don't die. I don't know. See you later.
Just wait it out.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, the sharks were kind of annoying. I think my biggest complaint with that was it didn't indicate before you went out that there were like air barrels around.
Yeah.
That you could access, so I kept going back to the diving bell every like 2 minutes.
Yeah, those sequences, once you get the whole thing down, there's a lot of them in the game, and they're really fun. Especially some of them that you kind of have to explore some sort of underwater ruin.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I felt like that could have been, for as well as the tutorial, everything else, I feel like that's the one sequence where they're like, yeah, we're done. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's you think it handholds you a little bit when literally the entire time your life is at risk because you're underwater and drowning effectively.
Yeah.
You think they'd spend a couple extra minutes going, here's how to not die.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be okay. You figured this out. Yeah. This is a completely different mechanic from every other, Assassin's Creed game ever.
Yeah.
I finally finished Infamous Second Son.
Oh, I was thinking about finishing that this week.
You really should. It's really good.
Yeah.
It ends on a pretty great note. The ending it gets really interesting. So you basically, the end of the game, you're climbing up that, the giant tower that's looming over the entire city of Seattle.
Yeah.
That one you can't climb up.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what tower you climb up at the very end of the game?
Okay. That's another game where I'm like, wait, why do I keep getting blown off of this tower? I can see this path up here. And
Yeah.
I look up and I was like, okay,
like
that's
wires.
probably the last thing you do in the game. I'm gonna keep moving.
Yeah, it totally is. This game, I loved how the difficulty progressed in this game on normal difficulty. It didn't get so hard that it was really frustrating, except for maybe a couple of points. Helicopters were just the worst,
Yeah.
especially if you had neon powers, because they wouldn't sit still.
Yeah.
They always are the worst.
Yeah.
Not always, man.
Unless you're Wolverine.
Yes, unless you are Wolverine.
All right,
That's exactly
fair
what I
enough.
was
The
going
one
with.
time.
It's the one game where helicopters are fun to kill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it looks so cool. The enemies get progressively more difficult. You have like I don't really know what they call them in the game. They're probably like different levels of soldier. There's chain gun guy, who's
Yeah.
basically the Juggernaut with the chain gun.
Oof.
And then there's the sort of Iron Man looking dudes, like the Mark, .1
Yeah.
Iron Man, that just wreck you unless you can line up 3 shots really quick, which isn't hard at all. Of the heavy shot on any of the powers.
Yeah.
I got, having been forced to use the video powers a little bit more, I have to switch my stance on them. They're great. If you can get away from a crowd of enemies long enough to, and once you level them up too, if you can get away from a crowd of enemies long enough to turn invisible, that fight's over. Because you can just sneak up on them and completely disable them. Plus, I really like the way it has like a tracking for its like missiles. So you basically just tag the guy, and he gets skewered with like 4 or 5 digital swords.
Jeez.
Yeah, that one was a blessing and a curse. There's a fight later in the game where you have to utilize that heavily, and if you don't hit it just right, it just sort of sticks to the wall, and you have to go train. It became really annoying really quick during one boss fight, but once I figured out a better way to handle that boss fight, it was okay. The way this game ends, it's sort of every story beat you think is sort of gonna happen in this game, kind of happens.
Yeah.
They telegraph a lot of stuff. There's certain characters that you know what's gonna happen to them.
Yeah, except for Infamous 1's ending, that's kind of been a problem with that series, where it's sort of like, oh, I bet this, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had so much fun with every set of powers. Every single set of powers was useful, at least in one situation, but I think Neon will still forever on always be my favorite. The dash is great. The general shot, like just your standard shot, was great, and the missiles were fantastic as well. That is.
Hi, helicopter.
Oh no, it's coming for you.
There's a hospital near us, so this happens every once in a while.
Awesome. But yeah, I don't know if there's much more I can say about Infamous that hasn't been said by 8 million reviewers or podcasters or Let's Players. If you own a PS4, you should play this game.
Yeah.
Just do it. There's no reason not to. I think I probably put a good 10, 15 hours into it.
What's going on?
What is happening?
Sorry.
Moving on.
Anyway, let's talk about Watch Dogs.
Yeah, let's talk about Watch Dogs.
Let's talk about this. So you played, right, Boston?
I'm a little over 20 hours in.
Oh, okay. What act are you in currently?
I finished the first or second mission in the second act.
Oh, okay. So you've been open worlding it.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, yeah.
I've been doing so much of everything that's optional in that game.
Yeah. I'm probably 3 or 4 missions away from finishing Act 2 as
Okay.
of this morning. So I won't go too far beyond that.
Yeah.
First things first, this game looks great.
Yeah, well, you
PS4.
playing on PS4?
Yes.
Yeah, the thing that I think is obviously before anyone writes in, yeah, it looks better on PC.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed at how smooth it is on PS4.
Yeah.
Sure, it doesn't look the best. It looks really good. I don't think it looks as good as Infamous.
No. No.
But I'm just impressed at how continually smooth it is, no matter really what's been going on. I've been in some serious business in that game, and I don't think I've gotten any frame rate drops.
Nice. I have to say, one complaint I've heard frequently is the loading screens. What are people talking about with the loading screens?
There's like one of them
Yeah.
at the beginning. Or when you
I-
die, there's a short one there.
And people are like, "Oh, this takes forever." It's like, really?
No one
Is
has
that-
any patience anymore, man.
It's
Well, the problem
sad.
is, like, everybody has played a GTA game. There's the one loading screen at the beginning that takes like a minute,
Yeah.
and then you don't get another one
There
until
you
you
go.
die, and then you get a really short one. But like,
Yeah.
I thought we had figured this out already.
Yeah. So far in the game, I'm pretty down with the story.
Okay.
I don't know if I necessarily like the main character, but I get it.
I feel exactly the opposite.
Really?
I hate the main character in every way. I'm really sick of getting an open world game and playing as the bad guy. Like I don't the main character in the game is a bad person. Sure,
Yeah, he's really not great.
Everybody around him worse. Yeah, but I'm not playing as them. This,
Yeah.
It's another white dude with short brown hair that's a bad person. And I don't... His voice is terrible. The things that he's doing, I don't... The very beginning of the game, you're torturing someone. Like, the very first thing you see in this game is the end of you torturing someone and you beating the crap out of him and knocking him out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... And everything that's delivered in this game is way too overwrought. Like, everything...
Yes.
Everybody's feeling everything, and it's... But that's exactly how it is. Like, it's delivered like a soap opera. It's delivered like...
Othello.
No, that would be an improvement. I'm thinking like Days of Our Lives. Like, it's very much like, she was my niece and someone killed her. Like,
Just
it just...
waiting for Bruce Springfield to show up.
No, what it reminds me of is the second Batman movie, The Dark Knight.
Oh, where the reverb on his voice was way too much.
Yeah, but also if Bruce Wayne was complaining about his family more. It's just it's very much like I'm trying to protect you. It's just it's bad. It's not great, and it's the person. The thing that I think is really interesting is I think there's two really great characters in the game.
Who do you think those are?
I think Jordy is fantastic.
Jordy's awesome. He is the best.
So for people that haven't played it, Jordy is kind of like your wisecracking to a point sidekick it seems like he's kind of a fixer or a cleaner, and he just wears suits. Like, he's always very well dressed, and he's kind of a jerk, but in kind of a fun way.
Psychopath.
Yeah. And I think the other interesting character, and the one that I really wish was the main character, is the lady whose name I can never remember.
The lady, the sister?
No, the tattooed lady.
Oh, Clara.
I really wish she was the main character. She's great.
Yeah.
I think
she's pretty awesome.
She has a really interesting story that gets fleshed out more with a lot of the side mission stuff. I wish she was the main character. I think she's way more interesting than the main dude.
Oh, absolutely. It almost feels like she should have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things like... So early on in the game, they sort of imply that the main character's father was... They mentioned Belfast, they mentioned Ireland, and that, just from that reference, you can glean that A, he was probably a member of the IRA.
Right.
And that sort of explains Aiden to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's dumb, but like at least they tried. He didn't just learn this all magically.
The thing that I think is the most disappointing to me is that So the stuff in the main part of the game, the actual critical path, the stuff that you're doing is frequently disinteresting. I mean, it's you're going to a place, you're shooting a bunch of dudes that are not difficult. I'm playing on normal,
Yeah, I'm playing on easy, so
and you're doing a bunch of really minor hacking things that are pretty easy.
I really like that hacking minigame when you actually have to hack into something bigger than like a camera.
With the pipes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
I'm-
it's interesting. I think
Yeah.
I think it's better than not having anything, but I think it's
Mhm.
better than having something that's too complicated.
Yeah.
But the part for me that really shines is all of the side stuff.
Mhm.
When you finish a mission really early on in the game, I think it's called Open Your World, something like
Yes.
that. It basically opens up the entire open world in the game, and except
That's
for
the-
like a couple of things that I still can't find,
Yeah.
like the last two QR codes. I
Oh, okay.
don't know where those are. But everything that you do in there has an audio log associated with it, which
Yeah.
for the first time in a game actually feels appropriate for the world, because
Yeah.
everyone's like leaving them tagged to QR codes, or they're leaving them in these emails or stuff that's around the environment, and that it actually feels
Appropriate.
it feels like it's not like going in a body shop and picking up this thing. It's like, oh my god, someone's killing me, and it's like, who recorded this? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And this is actually, like, hey, I'm one of the ones that's most interesting is the ones that you get for going into each one of your hideouts,
Yeah.
and you hack your computer in there, and it's this story. I obviously won't spoil any of these, but it's the story of someone who's working for Bloom, working on CTOS and the
Ooh.
kind of next level of CTOS.
Nice.
And it's really interesting because she's leaving these notes in CTOS code so that someone will find them to hopefully stop Bloom. And I'm like,
That's fantastic.
all right, oh great! Like that feels like something that would happen in here. And then I'm trying to find a serial killer. That's one of
yeah.
the side quest stuff. All the QR code stuff is super cool. It's like the first Batman game where you're lining up the Riddler question marks.
Yeah.
You're trying to
Yeah.
find a camera that can line up this giant QR code in the environment, scan it, and then that's an audio log. But
Yeah.
that's from DedSec. So it's
Yeah.
actually explaining what's happening behind the scenes of this hacker group that's in the game. So like that's what I've been playing 15 hours of, is just
I can see
going
that.
all around this environment and getting all of this cool extra stuff that when I go back to the main story, it's just the main character being like, Jax, let me help you. And it's sort of like, this is
that
not,
kid.
it's not nearly, in like the first time in open world history, the side quest stuff is way more interesting than anything the main character has to say.
Yeah, and that's honestly why I'm critical pathing this whole game.
Yeah.
I want to get that main quest out of. I don't hate the story. I find it serviceable enough. It's like a bad action movie. I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be
a
entertaining.
popcorn film. It's sort
But
of broad.
My only major gripe with the story is if you are not paying absolute 100% focused attention to it, you will miss something, and the next mission you go to do, you'll be like, why am I doing
Yeah,
this?
why is this dude doing... Wait, what?
Why? And
Yeah.
half the time, even if I'm paying attention, I don't know what my motivation, why I'm going to do this thing, but I'm going to do it.
Yep. And I feel like there's a real missed opportunity for audio logs for the main character. Because there's so many times where they have this bad voiceover, almost like it's like...
Max Payne?
yeah, I
That's what it felt like.
I was thinking of I can't remember that movie's name, but it's sort of like, well, I should probably head back home so I can take care of this stuff, and it's sort of like, but
It feels a little like Memento.
yeah, a little bit. I'll pull up the movie title here.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, I don't understand why there isn't more stuff from the main character that isn't this like overly wrought voiceover. where it's like
Yeah.
I know that's what you're gonna do. I don't I don't need to know. Blade Runner, that's the name.
Oh,
It feels a lot like
Yeah.
like Blade Runner, where it's like, and then I was going home to go do this thing, and it's like I know because you just said that to that other character. Why? I don't shut up.
You don't need to.
Way too much alliteration.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
No more exposition, please.
yeah.
Yeah, look at us thesaurusing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soliloquies.
A few of us went to college.
I dropped the pen again. So I have to ask this. This is my question. This is sort of my litmus test about Watch Dogs. What do you think of the driving?
Okay. I like it because I think each car feels like that car should feel.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So, like, if you're driving a Datsun, it's not going to drive very well. Or if you're going to drive this American car, it's going to be really slidey on the back end. Or
Yeah.
if you're driving a sports car, it's nearly uncontrollable. Like,
Yes.
I think it's... I think... So I think this game had the intro to this game is actually pretty interesting, but they made one major problem, which is one of the very first things they have you do is escape from the police, which in this game you need to know how to do because it's really different.
It is.
And they put you in like a Honda Accord, and they're like, "See you later."
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
It was a little mean.
I can't run away from the cops in this.
Yeah. So the trick is with running away from the cops in this game is you are not going to outrun them.
No, never.
You have to hack something. You have to wait for. So as you're driving, what's going to happen is you want to get the cops like right on you, or there's a little bit of distance in between you. But when you get to an intersection that has a traffic light, or has those blockers as they call them. It'll start to like count down sort of and like rotate around the hacking symbol, and it'll flash blue when you need to hit it to actually take something out.
Yep.
Once you figure that out, whole chases get way easier.
Well, and it looks cooler. Like it's.
Oh yeah,
It
it gives you a
looks
nice
the way
slow mo
that-
recap.
Yeah, because like when you get those blockers and you hit that button at the right time, and the camera turns around and slows stuff down as this cop car just mashes itself into this blocker.
Or gets flipped end over end.
Yeah, like that looks the way that you wanted Watch Dogs to do. I think I sort of wish they would have explained a lot better because it takes a while to get to the point where you're like, oh, okay, I'm not just hitting this button and taking myself out anymore. I have to wait for this other sort of communication from the game to go do this other stuff. And I'm at the point now where I have almost everything in the hacking tree unlocked.
Same here. I think I just unlocked. I have like 1 or 2 left.
Yeah. So like by the time you get to that point, like you are causing a blackout in the city. You are crashing helicopters. You are
that's so much
taking
fun.
out scans. Like you are blowing up water valves under the street to create explosions. Like after a while, it gets really cool, and then you can just eventually kind of. All right, the heat is off me a little bit. I'm going to go down an alley and turn off my car and hide in it, and then they probably won't find me. So, like,
That's
eventually it feels really cool. It just takes a little bit of time to get there.
Absolutely. So I don't hate the driving entirely. There's been a couple of cars where I'm like, okay, this feels good. I feel like I can control this, but it feels like it's about 1,000 times easier to spin out than it is to turn.
Do you use Uplay at all?
Yeah, I
Did
think
you
so.
buy the Uplay car that's available?
No.
You should do that.
Okay.
Because
Write
that car
down.
basically breaks the game. It's completely black, and so are the windows, so it's easier to hide from cops.
Yeah.
Murdered out.
It's all the way murdered out. But also, it's 0 to 60 in like half of a second.
Ooh.
And it controls it. It's nearly glued to the street. It's. I think for me, it's fantastic.
Yeah, speed-wise and everything else, the only problem I have with the cars, and this is specific to cars, is the handling. The bikes are phenomenal.
The bikes are fun.
Oh, I won't ride. If I have to ride in a car, I will. If I don't have to, I will be in a bike in a second.
And it looks cool too. Like your coat is flapping out behind you. Like it kind of it looks like you're the badass that the game is purporting you to be.
Yeah, you're living
Hey.
up to the hype.
Anytime you're rocking a duster, you're a badass.
Not no. I don't
No.
like the character design in this game much either.
Not when your sweater is askew for some reason.
It's-
What is up with that?
I don't like anything about like. I feel like they spent so much time in this game trying not to give him a trench coat that they made it super weird.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Yeah.
I would love to see him rocking like a nice, like navy tweed jacket.
I bet there's an unlockable costume in
There
there that
probably
looks like that.
is. So the one thing I have to say about the driving, I think the best driving I've ever seen in an open world game is Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
Sleeping Dogs had the best driving, and it had the best shooting while driving.
Oh, yeah.
You can't shoot while you drive in Watch Dogs, which really upsets me.
Actually, I kind of like that because
Really?
I kind of hate playing these open world games and like claw handing this controller. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I have to hold L1, R1, and R3 to shoot, and then I'm like, oh, well, I crashed myself into something. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Now I gotta click what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is R5? I don't even have one of those. Like,
Oh, that's where you break the Vita in half. And
yeah, you just mash it
No,
on the
it's-
controller.
Oh, R5 is it hitting the wall? All right,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that, and I feel like Sleeping Dogs is a really good. I feel like if someone hasn't played Sleeping Dogs,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Sleeping Dogs, please go buy it. It's like $3 on PC, and you can get it for probably a dollar more on one of the consoles.
And honestly, it looks better than Watch Dogs does.
Mhm. Especially on
It
PC.
looks phenomenal on PC. It plays one of the best open world games. Like,
Yeah, hands down.
Playing Watch Dogs puts Sleeping Dogs in very sharp relief as
Yep.
one of the best open world games I've ever played.
And it, I feel badly for Watch Dogs because it can't win. I mean,
No,
when
they
you look
can't.
at the original trailer, it's not that. Like everyone's saying, like, well, it's not the E3 trailer where you're hacking people's phones and finding out all this stuff. It's got
Yeah.
elements of that, but no one can make that game. And then when you look at the last gameplay trailer before the game came out, where it looked way better, that
Yeah.
game also can't exist on these consoles yet either. This is still the first year of these consoles. That's an
Yeah.
impossibility.
Infamous is as good as we're going to get right now.
Yeah, give it another 3 years, and we'll get something that looks like that. But
Absolutely.
I kind of feel badly for Watch Dogs because
Mhm.
it can't win because it was delayed from a launch game. I think if it was a launch game, it would have been amazing.
Maybe. I don't know.
It would have
If
got a pass on a lot more stuff.
Exactly, and
Maybe.
I feel like because they delayed it, they jammed so much extra stuff into it that a lot of people are saying like, well, it's too much extra stuff. Which, to be fair, it almost is too much stuff. But I find it interesting, so I'm going to go
Yeah.
through it. And I feel like it's not as good as AC4. It's not as good as Second Son, even though I haven't finished it. And it's not as good as Sleeping Dogs. 3 games that are available now that do the same thing, just better.
Yeah.
And
And Sleeping Dogs, frankly, does almost the exact same thing minus the hacking.
yeah,
If you just took Sleeping Dogs and put Watch Dogs as hacking into it, you have my perfect open world game.
yeah. And I want to make sure that I make it clear for everybody listening. I actually don't hate the game. I did during like probably the first 5 hours. I didn't want to keep playing it. Did not find it interesting. The hacking wasn't nearly as interesting as I thought it was going to be. But the more open world stuff that I do, the more interested I am in the game, and the more stuff that fills in on the back end. Like early on, no spoilers here.
Yeah.
Early on in the game, they mentioned Bellwether.
Yeah.
And I already knew what that was because I've already been doing a lot of the side stuff. So it's kind of interesting in that. And I feel I'm going to finish it. And I'm
here.
probably going to do a lot of the open world stuff because I think it's interesting. To me, feel like Watch Dogs is to Assassin's Creed 1. So the game that I'm most excited for is Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you come out of Watch Dogs 2, it's like, all right, look, you guys had some problems. It was very repetitive. We
Yeah.
gotcha. Here's
Yeah.
all the stuff we're gonna do. We already got the engine. We already got the voice actors. We already got all this stuff modeled. Let's just make this second one way, way better. And I know for a fact that they're going to make a Watch Dogs 2 because Ubisoft came out and said Watch Dogs' first day was the best-selling game there has ever had.
Yeah,
Ever.
they're gonna sell this.
Wow.
So Watch Dogs 2 is probably going to come. They'll probably try and push it out in a year.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going to put $20 on it, just to get more sales for that. So Watch Dogs 2 probably going to be pretty great.
Absolutely. So some quick comments on Watch Dogs' portrayal of Chicago. Man, they nailed the loop.
Oh
They
yeah.
Nailed the loop. It bothers me that I can't that they renamed some of the L stations, but I can get over that.
Yeah.
That's probably a legal thing. I get it.
Yeah. That's like why the
But the one just
stadium
north of the
is called May Stadium.
yeah.
You know, like
Is that Soldier Field?
no, because you can't get the rights for some of that stuff without paying like $1 million. So,
Yeah.
but some of them are kind of funny in that way,
Oh yeah,
where
absolutely.
they just treat it like, yeah, it's a Chicago baseball stadium, May Stadium. Wink.
yeah, it's not Comiskey or Wrigley.
Yeah.
You know.
The thing that
what-
I really like about their portrayal of Chicago is very sudden thunderstorms.
Yes.
You'll be walking around in a very nice day, and then boom, it's just pouring.
You see the sun shining behind me?
Yep.
That's going to change in about an hour.
Yeah, and I was telling that to my fiance last night because she was watching me for a minute, and then she looked over and she's like, "Why is it raining right now?" And I was like, "I feel like that's Chicago," you know, like
And it kind of is.
Yeah.
I think it was either this week or the week before, a storm just came in. We were like, oh, it's raining out. And then suddenly it sounded like gunshots bouncing off of my garage.
yeah,
Because it was just hail. It was just like probably hail about that big.
yeah.
And it was horrifying. And it lasted for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
By the way,
That
have
came
you?
right this way.
yeah.
I haven't heard anyone talking about this. We answer some of the questions in chat. I haven't heard anybody talking about this yet. Have you? There's weird stuff you can hack in the game.
The videos?
No,
Oh,
weird
okay.
stuff. Like
Weird stuff.
there's one of those ponies you can ride out front of a convenience
Yeah.
store.
And like the toys and like the talking fish heads and
Have you
stuff.
hacked the talking fish head?
Yeah.
Did it sing the most foul song on the planet to you?
I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Oh my god, go find another one. It sings what has to be the foulest rap song about Chicago on the face of this planet. Because I was listening to it, I was like, oh man, it's going to sing like some country song. The first word it drops is MF. And I was just like, what? And it goes on this diatribe about how awesome Chicago is. And I was just like, huh?
So one other comment about Chicago, and this is actually it nails down it nails down the. I don't want to give anything away for the story, but like it gets Chicago crime almost right.
Yeah.
Almost. Like if it's like near future Chicago crime, and it almost hits it. Like you have this really old guard of like Irish dudes that are doing horrible things.
Yep.
To make
By
money.
the way, I think most people have seen it. That guy Lucky from the very early parts of the game, that's a frighteningly accurate looking, very old man.
That is a frightening looking, very old man. B, looks like my friend's grandpa and like a bunch of my friend's grandpas. And you sort of go, and they sort of go, yeah, we think he was involved in some stuff when he was younger.
Yeah,
We're
he's
not
like a really
sure."
old Irish dude. He did
So
that
he's
stuff.
seen some things.
Yeah.
Little Tommy just isn't running numbers here.
Yeah.
Knuckle breaking.
But just that character to me is like the old school Chicago crime,
Yeah.
and then the characters you're introduced to a little bit later. Actually, before I hopped on here, I saw a dude get Suge Knighted,
Nice.
as you call it, hanging outside of a building by his ankles. And that's like the newer Chicago,
Yeah.
the gang warfare and stuff. But so like the Chicago geography looks good. Once you get outside the loop, it's kind of like close enough.
I think the only thing too that disappointed me about the portrayal of Chicago in this is they have like this Foursquare check-in system in the game.
That's-
There's like
yeah.
100 individual landmarks you can check in the game, and of course there's a
Yeah.
trophy, so I'm going to be dumb and do all of them.
Me too.
The only thing that I really don't like is that it seems like the descriptions for the place, because you can you can view the history of the place. The only thing I was kind of bummed out is it seems like DedSec wrote them instead of them being historically informative.
That's lame.
And for me, as someone who loves that city, I would have really liked to have known 100 new facts about Chicago. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a bummer, but also some of them are kind of funny. So
The other Jay-Z in chat, I have to say, is check in at the Bone at Millennium Park. Because everything's renamed just slightly.
Yeah.
Like, almost everything.
but it's so fun. It's so tongue in cheek where it's like Millennium Park, right?
Yeah.
So we have a couple questions here in chat, which I think are really good. Dimebag315 says, "So is it worth the bones?" I don't know yet.
On a sheer quantity level, yes.
It seems like a slow ramp up for 5 hours for it to grab you.
But I think for me, for $60, if you're looking between Infamous and Watch Dogs, I
Infamous.
think right now I
Absolutely.
have to say Infamous. For the $60, you get a better looking game. You get a game that's way more arcadey and immediately more fun, and it has a main character that I like. I know a lot of people don't, but at the very least, you're gonna enjoy his kind of snarky attitude.
Yeah, and it's who voices him?
In Watch Dogs?
No, in Infamous.
The guy who does everybody's voice now.
Is that Nolan North?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
he does a pretty good job there.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, I think it's worth the money, personally. I think there's a lot of content there, and there's a lot of really fun stuff to do. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention was the online stuff, the 1-versus-1 hacking.
Turn that off. Turn it off immediately.
Really?
Oh
yeah,
my god.
I was a fan. I liked it.
Because every time I went to go do a mission, it'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, funny story, you can't because someone's hacking your game." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, let me look at the rewards. Oh, they're all garbage.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
rid of them."
Yeah, at 1 or 2 points, that isn't actually online. I think that's actually a construct of the game. Just trying to train you how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I invaded someone else's game, and that was awesome.
I'll do that eventually because I know those
Yeah.
are the purple messages that keep popping up where it's like, "Do you want
Yes.
to tail someone?" It's like, "No, not right now. I'm trying to run away from the cops because I stole a car for a mission.
Yeah.
So if you could hold on for like a minute, that'd be
Yeah.
great."
Yeah, so the strategy for the 1v1 hacking that isn't going to work in a week is get in their game, get in a car, hide in the car, start hacking them. They will never find you because they'll never think to look in a car.
Yep, that's why I got someone because I shot him through the window with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Get out of your car. The other question that the other Jay-Z said, not really a question but a comment. A lot of people said it's like GTA 5. No, I think GTA 5 does, as much as I bombed out on that game because of frame rate issues. So hopefully the rumors are right. They're going to bring it to PS4 and Xbox One.
It's open.
I think GTA 5 does a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially hinging on the strength of the three main characters. And it has a more interesting, it has a much larger world with much less to do in it, of course. But I feel like GTA 5 is kind of in a different tier of open world games.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
It's good to be the king.
yeah, I guess. I really do
so-
hope that rumor is right that it's going to come out to Xbox One and PS4 because
I'll buy that in a
I
second.
would like to play that game without those frame rate issues because they just made me nauseous. I can't
Yeah.
deal with frame rate skips anymore.
So far, is that a thumbs up to Watch Dogs?
Thumbs middle. Yeah.
Thumbs middle?
Knobs got it right.
Wavering?
Thumbs middle.
Yeah.
I pay the $60, so I'm going to play it. I don't hate it because I don't hate it and I'm not going to give it up. I feel like the thing that has made me feel so much better is when I made the equivalency to Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah.
They're just figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry,
And I'm
sorry,
glad-
Dimebag. That was actually a question from Dimebag, not the other Jay-Z. Apologies.
And so, and back to I think our original hypothesis about this game. Until I finish this game, I'm still not 100% convinced that it isn't just part of the Assassin's Creed franchise.
That would be great, but I feel like someone would have spoiled that by this point, so
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
not. But I don't know. Either way, is it as someone who enjoys Ubisoft games, I do not begrudge them for starting another franchise. You know, I would love to buy more Ubisoft games because they're great.
They are
And I can get more
fantastic.
Uplay points. Everybody wins.
Yeah. And that's all I played this week. A lot of that.
Yeah. I played a couple other games. I played a little bit more Diablo 3.
Sweet.
Kind of waiting on that a little bit until they come out with the patch for ladders. Kind of don't want to burn myself in that game out too much. So right now I'm just going to be leveling up new characters and blah, blah, blah. So nothing super exciting.
Sweet.
I decided, I saw a news story somewhere about Puzzle and Dragons on iOS. And it's been this monumentally huge, gigantic game across the world for the last couple of months. And I figured it's free. Let me at least try it and see what's... And I didn't like that Pac-Man Puzzle Monsters game that I tried a couple weeks ago, which apparently
I remember you saying that.
was Puzzle and Dragons. So I won't be playing more Puzzle and Dragons, not because it's bad, but because it's not really a game that I want to keep playing. It's surprisingly really great, and I get why so many people keep playing this game. It's basically a dungeon, like this weird like first person, almost dungeon crawly RPG where you're leveling up monsters and you're leveling up dragons and combining them and training them and all that stuff. It's kind of a combination between Pokemon and then some sort of I don't even know which type of game it would be, but I get why it's good. It seems fair about all the free-to-play stuff. You know, like you have energy and you have levels and you're melding together dragons and stuff. But it seems like I played for probably maybe about 2 hours the first day I had it, and I never really ran out of energy before it kept giving me more because I leveled up. So it seems like one of those ones where it's not like 5 minutes later, it's like, you're out of energy, I'm sorry. Like the new Peggle that EA put out on iOS, which does have energy, which, thank you for killing games, EA.
Oh, my stomach hurts now.
Yeah. So I don't think I'll keep playing it, but I think I get it. It's this really well-made game that you can... It's kind of the perfect smartphone game. It's really well-made. It has enough stuff in it to keep you entertained for the 5 to 10 minutes that maybe you're going to get into it when you're in a line or something. And then it kind of has enough stuff that if you want to sit there for a while and play it, you have enough. But just kind of not a game that I'm interested in playing at all right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dimebag in chat asks, will you ever start Dark Souls 2, Boston? Hopefully. I mean, it kind of came out when I was moving, so Dark Souls 2 is kind of a game I want to sit down with and play in like an hour or 2 hour chunks, and there is 0% chance of me getting that right now. I think there's a better chance now that Steam in-home streaming works. I'm going to try and hook up my controller to my Mac Mini that I have connected to my TV downstairs in the living room. And if that works, then that opens up a lot more stuff for me to be able to play more games like that. So, fingers crossed. Also, Hannah, back to Watch Dogs real quick. Did you play this remote play at all?
Yeah.
It's not
great. It's not great at all.
The controls are... I keep tapping the back screen by accident, and I keep pulling out my weapon, and everyone's like, he's got a gun. I was like, oh god, I gotta pull it away. Yeah. And I can't, because I can't hit the same place that I pushed before.
Yeah. Remote play's a little rough. I've been sort of investigating how to remote play with a controller.
Right.
So I can play a little bit more of it. So right now it seems I'll have to like sign out of my Vita and do some really weird stuff with that. Yeah, they really need to fix that. They need to allow you to sign in with the Vita and then just like
Plug
hook
your-
a controller up to
yeah,
the Vita.
Yeah, plug your controller into the USB port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's fix that, Sony.
Yeah.
Put that on the top of your list, please.
All right, I have two more games that I played. First one just a very little bit, and the second one not as much as I would have liked. So this it requires some explanation because I'm sure that nobody has heard of this game. It's a game called Nanaka Crash. This
yeah,
was
it's going to require some spelling and some explanation.
yeah, it's Nanaca Crash. Just put in 2 words.
Got it.
It's a okay. So it's a Japanese flash game that was made in, as far as I can tell, about 1998. I'm really not kidding.
I can tell.
And
I'm
originally,
looking at it now. It's clearly made in 1998.
I fell in love with this game when it was its flash version way back when. It is
Yeah.
fully in Japanese. It does
Okay.
not explain itself, so don't expect any of that. And it's this great game where it's basically in the era of. Remember where there were a lot of flash games where you were launching something, like you were launching that cat, you were launching that penguin or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's that era where it's this Japanese school thing, and basically this girl hits this guy with her bike and it launches him, and he's like
Oh,
this.
I remember this. Yes,
Nanaka Crash.
that's what this is called. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, still hosted on GeoCities.
Perfect. Why not? So the best part about it is it just came out on iOS,
Why?
and it's like $1. So here's the interesting thing.
Also on Android. Just found
Even
that out.
better. So first thing, all the achievements are in Japanese. Why not? They have a tutorial now. Whoever made this game, I don't know. They don't have their name on it.
That's beautiful.
They have a tutorial now. Was translated with Google Translate very clearly.
Awesome.
The text
That's
is
the
going
best.
out of the text box. I mean, it's like a 1997 JRPG on PS1. Like, this is just. But what's really great about it is it's still Nanaka Crash, and it's still one of the best time wasters if you just want to spend 5 minutes doing something really stupid and watching people punch this guy into the sky as he travels very, very, very fast,
Yeah.
nearly out of your control. Nanaka Crash is for you. And,
I am downloading this on my phone right
and
now.
also, I kind of just wanted to talk about Nanaka Crash on this on the show because it's been out for so long. It was out before this show started, almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
go
man.
play that game. It's all the way crazy.
It's all the way dumb.
And the last game I played this week, I got into the PlayStation Now beta, which I can't talk about because I'm under NDA, which that NDA is scary, Sony. The last game I played was Transistor. And I almost forgot about this. I played for probably about an hour and change. I got past the very first boss battle, that like singer lady thing. And the game crashed.
Oh no.
Which I was thinking, okay, that's fine. I've had Vita games and PS4 games crash. That's okay, not a big deal. It was like 3 days after it launched, so there's probably some bugs. There's like 4 people on that team too, so
Yeah.
So I have to give credit for to Sony. P-Flux is playing Nanaka Crash in chat right now. Awesome. So I have to give Sony some credit. This is really interesting. I had only had one game crash on the PS4 before, and I had hard locked my system. So it comes up with this menu that says, "Hey, here's the error code. We're really sorry it crashed. Do you want to report this crash?" But now I don't know when they added this. Now it also said attach a video clip. And I was
Yeah, I saw this.
Maybe and I hit preview, and it snapped. It snapped like the last 15 to 20 seconds before the crash. And I was like, yeah, okay, that was pretty cool. I'm going to send that in.
That is so valuable for a developer.
Yeah. I mean, as someone else who works at a company that makes software, that is invaluable to say, like,
Yeah.
what did they do? Oh, this is They went into, in my case, I did a flourish and I went into a door, and apparently that crashed the game.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
So I went back in. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm loving Transistor so far. Let me go back in. I'll just load my game up. That's fine. Save file corrupt.
Oh.
I was like, all right, you know what? That's fine. I was an hour in. I could probably mow through the beginning of that game now because now I know how to play it.
Yeah.
All right, let me go do that. So I get through the first part and I get to the first save point, and it had my files corrupt. Like my file is so corrupt I can't save over it. So I was like, okay, let me save into the next profile slot. It says there's like 5 profile. Click on profile 2, kicks me out of the game, restarts the game from the intro. And I was just like,
wow.
So I actually had to go look up how to delete my save file
Yeah.
from the OS, and I haven't gotten back in. Bless you.
Ooh,
Nice.
I haven't gotten back in to start playing it again, which I might do this afternoon. But Transistor is all the way 150% my game. This is what I want out of game. It's this cool like noir tale. It starts in media res, so it starts right in the middle of the story, which they fill in. People were complaining about that. It fills
That's
it in
best.
like an hour, so it very clearly tells you what happens. The sword has the same voice as the guy for the narrator from Bastion.
Yep.
The battle system is crazy, like you were talking about. It's this really weird... It's basically a strategy RPG in this really weird way. It is almost a little overwhelming with how many of those functions there are and the combinations thereof. But it's just so cool. And it just like Bastion, it's way cooler than it should be, and the music is amazing, and the voice acting is outstanding, and there's all this world building they're doing, and it's just so good. Everybody,
It is great.
it's just so good.
Yeah. Just go play it.
Yeah, I just have to delete my save and then hop back in and make sure that I don't do whatever I did to make this thing crash. So I really, really, really want to get back in there. I've been playing mostly Watch Dogs this week, but I really have to play that again because that game just seems outstanding. Hopefully they patch it pretty soon because it seems like there's some outstanding issues for both platforms. But oh man, that game, so great.
For sure.
But that's all I've been playing this week. So let's take a break.
Woo.
I can open this door, this window more.
Holy shit, is it hot in here?
I'm glad I turned on the air. It got, like, even with the air on, it got super warm in here.
Well, I got this nuclear reactor sitting next to me. Jesus.
Nautica Crash, man. I haven't played that since high school.
Yeah, like I hadn't even thought about it. I don't remember where I saw it. Someone's like, "Hey, Nautica Crash is on iOS," and I was like, "What?"
Before I hit the bathroom, Newsom's in chat. I saw it. Hey, Newsom, how's your family? Doesn't he look like the dude from those family commercials for T-Mobile or Sprint?
No, I don't know what those are.
Oh, dang it! Someone's got to back me up
I've
on
let
that.
you down yet again.
Yeah.
No, it's there's this like it's your friends but family plan. They call it family, and there's like a dude that looks just like Newsom, and he's got his I think wife or girlfriend. Andrew Dice Clay is a talking gerbil in these commercials. There's some goth emo dude and a bunch of German Girl Scouts.
Oh, I was going to go with Nihilists.
Well, no, it's if you guys look up someone better call a doctor. I got a bad case of bug fever.
Oh, I hate that commercial.
It's dude. He's the dude with the. It totally looked like him.
I don't
There
know.
it is. Oh, they put it up in chat.
That every time I hear that kid on that commercial, I want to punch him in the throat. Just that accent and like the way he said, just.
Bad case of bug fever.
So for anyone watching this after the fact, sprint.com/landings/family. That dude looks a little bit like the like Musa.
Newsom, doesn't he?
I'm gonna put it here on the live stream. It's this dude next to this goth gentleman.
That is, I think that's Kyle Mooney from SNL.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
I'm almost 100% sure. Yeah, that's Kyle Mooney.
oh,
Weird.
He's good. I don't know if he'll make it to the next season of SNL, but he's pretty good.
oh! I go to bed.
Okay.
I have some friends that look like the weird goth kid.
Don't we all?
Probably a couple too many.
If you look around and you don't see that goth kid, you're the
You
goth
are
kid.
that goth kid. Oh, man.
Just got a notice from Steam that Luftrausers is $6 on Steam.
Hmm.
Payday 2 is $10.
Ooh.
It seems okay.
You know, I haven't bought a buttload of Steam games in a while. Maybe I'll saunter on over there.
Yeah. I just bought, Amazon has, Mario Golf for the 3DS, $10 off today.
Nice.
So I picked that up.
I picked up, I got a nice, like, leather folio case that's got a kickstand for the new phone.
Oh, nice.
While I was shopping for a case, I noticed it popped up a bunch of suggestions. One of them was a wireless charger.
Oh.
Did not realize that a bunch of phones now have wireless charging built in.
Oh, nice.
It only took, like, when did the Palm Pre come out? Like 7 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Only took them forever. There was actually a hack for the Nexus, the Galaxy Nexus, where you could take an old Palm Pre touchstone, slap the sticker from it on the back, solder it into your USB connections, and wirelessly charge it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like $25 for this wireless charging pad that was normally like, I think, 70.
That's not bad.
So it's like, all right, looks like I'm buying some stuff.
Jeez.
Spent enough on the phone. And like 90% of my reason for going with the Nexus was like, oh, well, I don't have a contract, so looks like I have to buy a phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, maybe I'll get the Galaxy Note 3. $700. Maybe I won't.
Yeah, maybe I'm good.
Oh, ridiculous.
Also bought, because it was only $20, bought Putty Squad for the PS4. It is a barely a remake, but it's a remake of an Amiga game.
Okay.
And it looks so bad. Oh, man.
It's got 2 on Metacritic. That's not good.
But it's one of those games where, like, I feel like they're never going to make any copies, and it's going to be famous because of how bad it is. And I have to have it.
Oh, it's a physical game.
Yeah. I think it's actually more expensive digitally.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Every time I see something like Europa Universalis 4 on sale on Steam, I'm like, I should buy that. I'll try it eventually.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I'll definitely get into that eventually, right?
No.
That'll never happen.
Also, I know nothing about Murdered Soul Suspect, but people keep talking about it. Is it like you're a ghost and you're solving mysteries?
Yeah, that's the one. I always get that and The Evil Within confused. I don't know why.
God, Murdered Soul Suspect sounds good.
Yeah. I've been listening to a couple of different podcasts and reading a couple of different sites, and from what people have seen of The Evil Within, like the new Shinji Mikami game, not looking good.
Yeah, they just delayed it the other day.
Yeah,
So-
which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it kind of needed it.
Well, I think the biggest complaint was like, dude, your main character model looks like it's made out of 4 polygons.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Dimebag in chat asks, how's the new location, Boston? This house is really nice. We are both enjoying it very much. It still needs work, but I mean, doesn't every house ever?
Yeah, I had to do a bunch of stuff yesterday to bedroom, we put up new curtains and stuff.
Yeah.
Tearing down old curtain rods from like the 70s
Ugh.
is the worst.
Yeah.
Everything's a flathead screw.
Yeah.
None of them are deep enough to actually get you any torque.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Oh, man.
1 second. Hold on.
Ah. Great, now there's gonna be a bunch of motorcycles driving by now that I open the window. Maybe I should just play Dark Souls 2 up here so I can stream it, so everybody can laugh at me at how bad I am about it. I really wish I would have been able to stream Demon Souls back in the day. Man, I was not good at that game. The other Jay-Z, I kind of assume that with all games ever since the first Dead Space. You only get me once. Oh, and hit every chest but only once. I've heard that too. That is, that's definitely good advice.
Oh, speaking of fun homeownery stuff, I just had to kill a giant bee.
Hey, great.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
Yeah, no, not in my house. This is the second one we've had. I gotta go look around outside and make sure we don't have a hive or something chilling out.
Ugh.
Luckily, we have this nice electric fly swatter, so I smashed it up against the wall and just pressed the button until it started smoking.
I think the Geneva Convention says something about that.
Well, the Geneva Convention doesn't say anything about bees, so... Not in my house.
Alright, let's get the show on the road.
Indeed.
Alrighty.
Show notes here.
Remember that fly setter we had that was like a little gun that shot it? We never hit a single fly with it.
Yeah, that one was fun.
That does not sound like it would ever work ever.
No, but it was fun.
Got
Yeah,
close a
fair
couple
enough.
times, but
Yeah.
Alright.
you guys ready?
Yup.
Yes.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for June 2nd, 2014. 1001 Spikes for the Wii U, PS4, PlayStation Vita, PC, and the thirds.
If you liked Super Meat Boy, this is the same genre.
Nice.
Yes.
I don't know if there's
Miserably
1001
playable.
Spikes in it, though.
There better be. I'm not buying it.
so.
You have false advertising.
Someone's going to sit there and count them.
Probably.
Yeah.
Monsters.
And Tomodachi Life for the 3DS.
I'm really curious to see what people at large think of this game, since I'm very surprised it came out here.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see. I'm also curious to see what it really is. I don't think I really know.
Hopefully it's a Japanese version of the game of life.
That'd be awesome.
And this week on June 2nd, 2004, Full Spectrum Warrior for the Xbox and PlayStation.
I remember that being a
Nice.
Big deal back in the day, where it's like,
It was.
this is the game that the army trains on, and it was sort of like, oh, okay.
It was pretty cool. This game actually has a very famous mispronunciation from back in my retail days. Full Sport Warmeister.
Yep, that checks out.
Someone came in and asked for Full Sport Warmeister.
Wow,
reminds-
that needs to get written up on the whiteboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that reminds me.
Well, yeah.
When
go
Resident
ahead.
Evil came out, people were like, "Can I get that Residential Evil?" It's like,
Yeah, that was another big one. A buddy of mine, my buddy Jack, he was actually my boss at Game Crazy when I worked back almost a decade ago. He at his old GameStop, they literally had a wall of shame where they
nice.
would write down like in the back room like mispronunciations.
oh man,
Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
Mm-hmm.
nice. Like, I was ordering a sandwich today, and I mispronounced it, and I'm like, really? It's the Western sandwich. I was like, I'll have the Westerner.
Something. I'm gonna go.
And Spiral Orange and Crash Bandicoot Purple for the GBA.
You know,
Hmm.
I never knew that these games came out, but they actually sound kind of cool. Basically, Spyro is in the Crash world, and Crash is in the Spiral world. They're two different games from
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance.
I remember the commercials for these.
Huh.
They had some commercials back in the day where it was just Crash. I think it was even in the suit, if I remember correctly,
course
in
it was.
Spyro's world. Yeah.
God, that's crazy. I should see if I can find copies of those games. Those sound either
Sound-
really bad or one of those hidden Game Boy Advance gems.
Ah.
All right, let's move on to news stories. We're probably not going to talk about too many more of these until after E3, which, oh god, is next week.
Yeah. That'll be
I
fun.
keep getting emails from E3 where it's like, hey, here's your badge. Hey, here's the thing. Don't forget to go here. And it's like, E3, I can't go this year. I'm sorry. Thank you for giving me a badge, but I can't. Next year, E3, I'll go once. The Order 1886 delayed until 2015. That's kind of a bummer. I want to play that game right now, but you need more time to make it better? Okay.
Okay.
For sure.
That sounds okay. But there is a metric ton of those sorts of announcements lately, so we're not going to talk about too many more of those until E3, when it eventually says, here's 2014, here's 2015. Everybody should stop complaining about it, because the consoles literally just came out, so they have to figure out how to program for them. So,
Yeah.
The other Jay-Z in chat says The Order 2086. Zing!
What?
Sony announced that they're now upping the number of games that you'll get for every platform every month for PlayStation Plus, now to 2. So before it was 1 per platform, now each one gets 2. So thank you very much, Sony. That's awfully nice. The next ones that are upcoming are for PS4 are both really good. Trine 2 and then Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate, which they actually went back and it looks like they totally redid that game, kind of from the ground up. And now it looks crazy. If you're in Europe, June, PlayStation Vita, you get Dragon's Crown. So go play that. It's pretty good for free. Next up here, Nintendo announced something that I initially thought was really crazy, but now actually makes a lot of sense. They announced a GameCube controller adapter for the Wii U. which originally I was like, pardon?
Yeah.
Wait, what? But then I remembered, oh right, Smash Brothers is coming out, and this thing is a 4-controller multi-tap, and people love Smash Brothers on the GameCube, so now you can play it with the controller you remember instead of the Wii mode. I don't Pro controllers. I don't know.
It still feels like Nintendo looking into the camera, like in an episode of Arrested Development, and going, "I've made a huge mistake."
Yeah, exactly.
About the Wii, like that's the only thing I picture
Yeah.
is one of them, like Iwata just going, "I've made a huge mistake."
Yeah. So the only thing, apparently, someone is saying Performance Digital Products say that they're launching a new controller inspired by the GameCube controller. I don't know what that means, but I don't think I've seen Nintendo yet say that they're going to make new controllers. I'm highly doubting it, because why would you make more GameCube controllers for the same crazy people that are still playing that game on GameCube?
Yeah.
But it would still be kind of nice to have like a cool limited edition new GameCube controller. But that's because I'm crazy and I collect.
It's
things.
Wii U certified.
Yeah, so am I.
Put your gold sticker on it.
Yep.
Nintendo approved.
Seal of quality. Next news story, Guilty Gear Third Sign, which is what I'm just going to call it now because I don't know how you pronounce that still, is officially coming to the West.
Whee!
Yes.
It is coming to North America sometime in the fall. Would like to remind everyone that Arc System Works no longer puts games out on Microsoft platforms, so it's only PS3 and PS4. So if you'd like to play that game with me, please buy it on PS4, because I won't be getting it on PS3. Knobs. Get a PS4. And I think, who's putting it out? I think it's Axis. Yeah, Axis, of course, is putting it out. So
Yeah, it seems right.
I'm going to rev up those pre-orders here. I'm totally...
It's a 2.
Totally not typing it in Amazon right now. Moving on to the next news story. Harmonix has sort of had a hard week.
Yeah,
The
good.
Amplitude Kickstarter, yay, successful. But then, unfortunately, they laid off 37 people.
Boo.
Which I was wondering what that studio would look like if the Kickstarter didn't succeed. It might not be around anymore. Now they have way less than 100 people working there. But also the crazy musical first-person shooter game, Chroma, that they were making. The alpha just finished, and they are what sounds like basically scrapping that game. It's completely going back to the drawing board. And they say, we have concluded that Chroma will need some substantial retooling to be the game we want it to be. That's kind of not surprising. That game sounded crazy to begin with, and then people got their hands on it, and it was really crazy, and apparently it was pretty playable, but
Nice.
hard for the game to explain itself. So I think they need to do a better job of explaining, like, hey, here's why your shots don't go off when you shoot, because it needs to hit the downbeat. So, stuff like that. So
that would make sense.
It's kind of crazy stuff where it's like, yeah, you missed the downbeat for this grenade, so you're going to have to wait for another one. Weird stuff like that. So hopefully it turns out okay. I mean, I'd kind of like to see a different type of first-person shooter that isn't World War II or Future War. Space music war? I don't know.
Space mad gunfight.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. What about guns that shoot swords?
Yes, sold. Good.
All right,
Let's do this.
Cool. All right.
No, People Can Fly need to get on that.
Yeah.
I think they did that already, actually. I don't doubt it.
I think Borderlands 2 already did that, so I think we're set.
Yeah.
Next news story here. Valve is saying that they are delaying Steam machines and the controller into 2015.
That's disappointing.
It's disappointing.
Wow.
The controller, I kind of understand, especially after getting my hands on it. Sort of like, yeah, you need to... It's another thing that you need to explain better.
Yeah.
Or say, here's the controller, and here's the 3 games you should play to make it make sense. Or Valve needs to make a game that uses it, or something.
That sounds like the path of least resistance. Just have them make something.
Yeah, here's a crazy Portal spin-off that uses this controller.
Does Valve make games anymore, by the way?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
No.
But the thing about Steam machines getting delayed, that's kind of... I also find that kind of disappointing. I don't...
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand why. Like, is the OS not necessarily finished? Because it seems like it is. Are you looking to retool it with in-home streaming or something? Like, I don't understand why they need to do that when you're basically just giving the OS to someone like Falcon Northwest and say, hey, put this on a machine, now it's a Steam machine.
Yeah. Maybe it's it could be like a licensing thing they're trying to figure out.
Maybe, I don't know.
Depending on what technology they use for the OS and what packages they use, they could run afoul of like the OpenGPL or GNU or anything like that. So
yeah,
there's weird stuff when it comes to licensing free software on Linux. Like the GNU people get real weird.
All that
when you start selling
it, weird. In general. And the last news story we have here, the Microsoft new CEO Satya Nadella says that he is completely disinterested in selling off the Microsoft or the Xbox division. He said, quote, "I have no intent to do anything different with Xbox than we are doing today," end quote. So that's good. I know I think a lot of people have been concerned because there have been a couple of vocal shareholders that have been saying, hey, it's not doing very well, just spin it off, whatever. And I...
Oh, sure. You suck.
And I don't think that's really the solution. And I don't think the Xbox division is in as bad a shape as it seems. So I don't think you need to cut and run like Sony needs to do with their TV division. Or what they did with the Vio division. You know, it's sort of like, look, we are bleeding money, just start cutting until we're not bleeding anymore. I don't think it's in that position.
It's the whole mentality, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, exactly. And no one is worse at that than shareholders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think I have a lot more faith in that division now that... Oh man, who's the new CEO of the Xbox division? Phil Spencer? Is that his name? Phil something? Yeah, whoever the new guy is. He's saying the right things. You know, he seems to be doing the right stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's nearly that bad. Certainly the sky's not falling. Microsoft's doing okay otherwise. So, all right, let's move into emails and tweets here.
Yes.
Let's start off emails with Craig F. Just Pokey wants to know what game announcement will make you fist pump at E3. He says Phantom Dust, please. That would be nice, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's not, but that'd be awesome. That would make me get an Xbox One.
Crackdown 3.
There you go.
I'm trying to think. I feel like a lot of games have been announced already, so I'm trying to think of things that would make me super excited that would actually get announced at E3. Like, I would be excited if Left 4 Dead 3 would get announced, but they're not going to do it there. They would just announce it on the front page of Steam and just say, hey, it's pre-order now.
Yeah.
I would like to see a date for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
I would be excited to know. I'm pretty sure that's not this year. We're going to get Kingdom Hearts 2.5 this year. But I'm fairly sure that that's not this year. But, you know, which half of 2015 are you aiming for?
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, there's so much stuff that's been announced already. Sunset Overdrive 2 for PS4? Is that too soon? Too soon?
I would like to see. Not even out yet? I'd like to see a release date for Sunset Overdrive. That'd
be sweet.
That's one game that's making me excited that I have an Xbox One.
Yeah, that looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, and they're a wild card. They don't have a press conference. They don't have anything, but I kind of want to see if Sega's going to announce anything this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Just anything, like. See what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna
What are you
do?
guys up to? What are you doing back there?
Yeah.
They're sitting back licking their wounds right now. They had a
Probably.
rough 2013.
Yeah, they still do okay.
Yeah.
You know, you look at their financial reports; they still do all right.
Yeah, because of pachinko.
Well, they still do okay in the U.S. too. They
Ain't nothing wrong
they
with
do
that.
better than a lot of people assume. There's a reason that they're still in business.
You know what? Honestly, if Nintendo announces new hardware, I'll probably get behind it. Because that
Yeah,
seems like something
you
that
know,
could potentially happen this
Do you
year.
believe the rumors and the trademark stuff about like a 3DS Advance or anything?
Oh,
like that?
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's something that could happen.
Do you think they're gonna get rid of the 2DS?
Mm,
I think they might do that.
maybe.
as well.
I don't know. There's so many things. Nintendo's the real wild card this year because you know what to expect from Sony and from Microsoft. They're
Yeah.
going to announce a bunch of games. They're going to show off a bunch of new features.
They
They're
have
going to
some
announce
sizzle reel.
Yeah, and Nintendo's going to do a Nintendo Direct, and they're just going to talk about a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah, they don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't know what to expect this year. I know they're going to announce. They're probably going to announce a lot of stuff that is going to slip into 2015, or just,
Yeah.
hey, we announced this last year and it's coming in 2015. So please keep an eye out. But other than that,
Yep.
I don't really know.
Oh, if they throw out another Metroid Prime game, I might have to get a Wii U.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the ones. I feel like this year might be Zelda, but not Metroid. Because at this point,
They
who's
talk
gonna
about-
make Metroid?
I don't know. They talk about Zelda every year, though. It's always Zelda, Zelda, Zelda.
Yeah,
Come on, give Samus some love.
yeah. The last time
I
they gave her
would.
some love, look what happened.
Oh,
They gave her a bunch of misogyny, too.
Yeah,
they certainly did.
man. All right. Let's move on to tweets here. Derek here, with username ManyDerek, says, I'm thinking of upgrading to PS4 likely at some point. Should I get a PS Plus subscription now to ensure I get all the free games?
Yes.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you've got the spare scratch, yeah, just start scooping up games on their website.
You literally on, what is it, June 3rd is this Tuesday?
Yeah.
If you sign up for PlayStation Plus on June 3rd, they are going to give you 6 games.
Yep.
Because
you
of
get
the way
your
they
money
just-
back immediately.
Yes. So there's really no reason to not have PlayStation Plus at this point.
Yep.
The
you
only
see
thing
that
Oh, go
Sony
ahead.
announced that over 50% of PS4 owners have PlayStation Plus.
that is
Wow.
crazy.
I mean, that's the number that you sort of say, like, okay, we're doing all right.
They are doing great.
And I have to say, too, for people that don't yet have a PS4 but have PS Plus, or you don't have a Vita or whatever, if you have PlayStation Plus, download all of the games every month. All
Yeah.
6 of them. Just, if you get that platform at some point, you'll have those games already. They are
They are.
free.
Nice
Go get
Built-in
yours.
library.
Yeah.
I was actually showing my brother-in-law. He just picked up the Borderlands bundle with the Vita,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Hey, make sure you get all those games
Yep.
because you never know."
Adderblack39 writes, "What up, guys? What up?
But,
What up?
Why do you think Microsoft were so determined to make Kinect work this gen, especially as it failed last gen? I think because it failed last gen.
yeah,
I think-
they had something to prove.
I think they're digging their heels in and saying, like, okay, that we believe in this idea, we believe in this technology, and it works even better this time. It
Yeah.
has to succeed this time, and
Yeah.
it is having problems, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's a cool concept. I
Yeah.
believe it's a cool
And it
concept.
works.
It does for most people.
Yeah.
I think Musum will debate the workability.
Yeah,
of it
something
with
about
us.
Musum's voice means the Kinect will never work with him.
Yeah, that's something they definitely have to figure out. But the only way they're going to figure that out is a large sample size.
Yep.
And the only way to get that large sample size is to get it in a bunch of homes.
Yeah.
It's really a great piece of hardware. I personally, my limited experience with it, have never had a really bad thing to say about it. I actually played some of the weirder Kinect games last gen, like Burnout Crash
Yeah.
was a Kinect game. for some reason. It was fun. It was a good time.
Musim in chat says, "I'm the 1% that Kinect hates."
Yeah, yeah, and you never, yeah, it's never going to be fully figured out. But I just love the idea of a piece of technology I can yell at, and it'll listen and change its behavior based on what I'm yelling at it.
Well, and I think especially in the Xbox One, I mean, I used it so much on the 360 while I was just watching Netflix, where I'm like, Xbox next, and it just started playing the next episode. You know, even just little things like that, where I don't have to have my controller on, especially because the Xbox One controller doesn't have rechargeable batteries in it because Microsoft is insane. The Kinect just works for a lot of that stuff. You know, like just Xbox go to Netflix and just pulls it out of this ether that it's living in and fires up Netflix, and it's great.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I use those voice commands a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing for me. It's not so much the camera. The camera, like, cool concept, but it hasn't been implemented very well yet, except for maybe Dance Central.
Yeah,
it works out well with Skype, though. Surprisingly well, with the tracking you around a room and stuff, and keeping you in frame.
You know, I actually, I was just thinking, I actually use the Kinect a lot on the 360 for not Dead Space 3, Mass Effect 3. Because I never figured out how to throw a grenade without yelling grenade at the TV. And it worked pretty well.
Very nice.
The other Jay-Z says, I just got an email from Stitcher saying they're going to start revenue sharing. Thoughts? Seems good for podcasting in general. Yeah, I mean, I think any revenue sharing can help. Anything that helps podcasters get paid without people having to pay for podcasts helps, because no one's gonna pay for podcasts. That ship has already left. That ship left in like 2006. So there's no way anything that can help. People don't believe me, but this show costs me a lot of money every month to run.
Yep.
Not only
I believe it.
hosting, but software and at the very least time. You know, it's if I could get reimbursed for that time, at the very least to cut even, that would help a lot. Nevertheless, paying the people that are on this show, but as podcasts are right now, there's no way to do it without inserting ads. And you know, the dirty secret about ads is if you're as small as this show is, which we're not that small, but we're not big like Giant Bomb. You don't get to choose your ads. You subscribe to a service that puts ads into your show automatically. You have no idea what those are going to be.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy the way the Giant Bomb dudes handle the ads.
I'm a subscriber of Giant Bomb, so I can get the show without ads, but I don't because the ads are so good.
Oh, yeah. I just recently started listening to that show regularly, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. I want to know more about the adventures of small businessman.
Who doesn't? That, and I think Mark Maron does a good job on his podcast with advertisements as well. He's like a traditional radio guy, so he just like rolls them in.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a straight radio show.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably the best way to handle advertisements when it comes to podcasting. But as far as like really making money off of something like this,
there's no money to be made.
There's no real revenue to be had unless you're
Giant Bomb or Leo Laporte. Like you can't make your money.
Or you're doing it as a supplemental to what you normally do, like the Cracked podcast is supplemental to most of their articles.
Right.
IGN's podcasts are all supplemental to their articles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they still have advertisers, and they still probably aren't making much off podcasts.
Yeah.
They probably use it as a platform to get people into their world, their media empire, so that they can get advertisements to them other ways and make more money.
It's more of an accoutrement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other Jay-Z says in chat, I didn't mean to get all inside baseball, but I thought it was worth bringing up.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think it's worth bringing up because I think a lot of people don't know what it takes to make a podcast and make it as available as it should be. I mean, keeping this podcast available is expensive, and it's not like sure I could run this show off of a web server that's sitting in my house, but if I lose power, you can't get the show anymore. So like, it to do it right, it costs money, and I think it would be nice if there was a good way to get that money back, but unfortunately there really isn't.
It's called Play the Lotto.
Yeah. Next tweet is from Parkwood09. Says, I still haven't bought a next-gen console. With no Kinect now, should I go PS4 or Xbox One? Recommendations? PS, not into shooters. PS4.
PS4.
Make the right choice.
The man who doesn't even own one
Yeah.
is saying yes.
The thing is, when I look at the, it's that old Penny Arcade article. I don't get to choose my platform. My friends choose for me.
Yes.
But also, when I look at the comparison between the exclusives for the PS4 and the exclusives for the Xbox One, the ones on the Xbox One are fine. Like, Rise is not bad. Dead Rising 3 is good. But then you start looking at the PS4 and you have stuff like Transistor, all these indie games, Infamous Second Son. You have this laundry list of games already, and then if you have a Vita, you have even more reason to do it. And there's this whole thing. If you really care about resolution, it seems so far that the PS4 is winning out on the resolution, this fake resolution war that's happening.
Yeah.
If that really matters to you, then, it probably shouldn't, but you should get a PS4 then.
Absolutely.
And you get more free games for your subscription.
And it works well with the Sony Vaio TV.
It's true. It works well with your pre-existing Sony infrastructure. Brought to you by Sony. Gibeon writes in, what are gameplay mechanics you want to see removed from future games? I want crafting to just go away. I was thinking about that while I was playing Watch Dogs, because you have to make the stuff that you're using, but that's one game where I was kind of happy that you were making stuff, because you're taking like chips and chemical ingredients and making like an IED. Yeah. And it's sort of like, I feel like it would pull me more out of the world if I just opened up a car and it's like, hey, you got 2 IEDs. It's like, who's carrying these?
Yeah, right.
Or it's like 3 jam comms in a locker, and it's like, what? Who else is using this stuff?
And to be fair, the crafting, quote unquote, in Watch Dogs is very, very simple. Yeah, it's hit triangle. It's not. I think crafting can be done well, and when it is, it's phenomenal. But it's in a game like Terraria or Minecraft, where that's the game. I
mean, look at the Lego The Hobbit. That has crafting in it. And it's like, wait, but I'm already making stuff out of Lego pieces. Why do I have to make... What?
That's so, now you have to make the pieces out of the Lego pieces.
I don't even know what it is. I watched something about it, and it just... I don't understand it. You don't have to change that formula. So this sparked a whole conversation on Twitter. Almighty Tooth says, vendor trash go away, which... Yeah, just let me pick up money. Even Watch Dogs has it. Hey, you picked up a watch. Oh, now I have to go to the pawn shop to pawn it. Great.
Yeah, it's really silly.
You know what? I'm tired of finding ammo and med kits in toilets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, I don't want to use that.
I don't need that dirty health.
That's not going to heal me. That's going to make me worse.
That's totally gonna hurt stuff.
He says, or in the case of Skyrim, all the items that barely count as helpful and take up space in bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, do I need to pick up wheels of cheese? Probably not.
No.
I just lump that in with provisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see, speaking of Skyrim, any sort of inventory weights or things like that, like encumbrance bothers me to no end.
Yeah.
I almost always install some sort of mod that eliminates it entirely, because the point of this is not to make me feel like I have to control. Like, I don't want to play the Diablo subgame, the Diablo 2 subgame of manage your inventory Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that to me is a lot
as fun as that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the size and stuff in the bags.
Yeah.
Just limit, don't let me get encumbered then. Don't let me pick it up.
Yeah.
At the very least, don't that. I think that might just be strictly Bethesda, but don't let me pick up to the point where I can't run or fast travel.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Almighty Tooth writes, sort of while we're talking about it, what kind of features would you like to see added to games, or better yet, mechanics you want to see make a comeback? The other Jay-Z writes very quickly, if I'll add that to that, if any of you guys say QuickTime events, I'm hunting you down. I actually give a lot of credit to Lords of Shadow 2 for making them optional. Maybe that says something about them, but at least you can turn them off. Maybe you should just not do them, but, you got the option at least.
Mechanics I want added.
I feel like most games nowadays have too many.
Yeah.
If anything.
I would almost like a simplification. Like, I dig the way Watch Dogs handled the in-the-world hacking. Just hold square.
Yeah.
That's
hold
great.
Square to start something else, you hold triangle.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unnecessary minigames.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why someone was complaining the other day about Watch Dogs, and I'm like, man, I just wish sometimes when you hacked into something, you got a hacking minigame. And I was like, those two words are the same as QuickTime events. Like, hacking minigames are crap, typically. Yeah. Like, look at the one in BioShock. It's like, hey, you're in the middle of a firefight and you're hacking a camera. Let's play Pipe Dream. It's like,
yep.
No. What?
Oh. As far as mechanics I'd want added,
I feel like this is why indie games are so popular right now, because they're so simple. Yeah, it's just, hey, it's a beat 'em up. Remember those? Yep.
Yep, you got what button to jump, button to punch.
Yep. That's all I need. I can't think of anything that I wish would make a comeback.
Dimebag makes a good point. The sleeping dogs driving in every open world game.
The thing I love so much about that driving was being able to flick the stick or whatever button it was and jam into other vehicles and like drive them off the road. I would kill for that in any open world game like Watch Dogs.
Oh,
where
no,
says,
you know what?
Here's a car, please go destroy it.
Any game that has driving that isn't a driving game should have a cruise control button.
Oh yeah.
Every game.
Actually,
Everyone.
Something that I'd like to see removed, since we're talking about Watch Dogs, is if you're not a driving game, do not have online driving races.
Yeah.
You will not do them well enough to be able to make someone not snap your disc in half.
Yeah,
Crackdown 2.
Crackdown 2. Oh,
what a disaster! That should have never happened.
There's no reason for it.
Terrible.
But yet we did them all.
But yet they're in Watch Dogs. All right, it's way too hot in here, and I have to get out of here. That's all of our tweets and emails. Also, if you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everything else is on the right-hand side page.
No. Please join the forums. Don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Join us for Monday Night Game Night. Probably going to be Battlefield 4, because why not?
Ta-da!
And join us for Thursday Night Game Night is 10 p.m. EST on the Steam group on your PC.
Indeed. Current TVGP Game Club game is The Witcher. We're going to be wrapping up this week. Hopefully on Thursday we'll be doing the call-in show.
Oh, nice.
And be ready for Thursday. It'll probably be sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. Central. Still got to work out some of the timing and technical issues, but keep an eye out, and we'll be talking about The Witcher. I unfortunately probably won't have enough time to finish it, but I think I played enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
And don't forget, you can watch this show live every week, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. And the other Jay-Z in chat is right. Crackdown 2 should have never happened. You heard it here. Just kidding, everyone. It wasn't that bad. We'll see you all next week.
Huzzah!
Peace.
I have no titles. I got nothing.
All right.
Gotta no dukes.
I gotta no dukes.
So, let's see. Three's a party. I should have popped your melon, sir. Bullet teeth. Shorty shoddy. Under complete duress. Knife baggery.
Damn it, Hannah.
Nazi moon base, jacked up grill, maybe just don't die, everybody is feeling everything, soliloquies, murdered out, where is R5, that NDA is scary, Sony, put your gold sticker on it, needs to hit the downbeat, and give Samus some love.
I kind of like Shorty Shoddy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You don't like knife baggery?
I feel like we'd be on some sort of watch list for naming that title that.
Yeah. I'm pretty. I liked Everybody is Feeling Everything when you were talking about Watch Dogs' plot.
Actually, that one's pretty good too. I could go down. I could get down with that one.
Yeah.
Everyone is feeling everything.
Everyone is feeling everything. Other Jay-Z in chat says hacking the talking fish head and Millennium Park.
It should be hacking the talking fish head at Millennium Park.
There we go. Alright, I think I'm going to pick Everyone is Feeling Everything, because that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 345 for June 2nd, 2014. Everyone is feeling everything.
So emotional.
Last case of emotion.
My eyes.
Oh, the special eyes.
Alright, thank you very much everyone for watching us live. We will see you all next week. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.